parce que du coup, en fait, on est un projet mondial. So I'm gonna talk about. Oui, c'est bon. I'm gonna talk about open food facts. So we're an association trying to make like a global Wikipedia for food. So we basically started from the fact that for consumers, food is still very much a black box. So you have those beef, meat, and vegetable oil, and you don't quite know what goes into them. So it started from the horse meat scandal, the lasagne with a horse. And basically we started from the fact that people could create the best map in the world, the best encyclopedia, better, more extensive than the Encyclopedia Britannica, with OpenStreetMap and Wikipedia. And we just say, why not do it with food? Why not play with food? So we created Open Food Facts. So Open Food Fact is basically a food product database made by everyone, so you, me, everyone, and for everyone. Which means that you can reuse the data freely if you're a journalist, if you're a scientist, or if you're just a citizen. You can basically play with food. And food is a lot of data to digest. When you look at the packaging, those are PIMS, so biscuits for adults, as they market themselves. You see a lot of information, so those are the ingredients. So you will never read them fully. You will perhaps parse for a specific ingredient if you have an allergy, and it will take time. And those are the nutrition facts. So theoretically, it's supposed to be helpful, but nobody reads them. And even if when you read them, you can't actually compare to the other biscuits. So basically, Open Food Fact is all about simplifying all this. That's the use case. Basically, it's the evening, you're in a supermarket aisle, and you want to choose the breakfast cereal for your children. Which packet should I choose? And the annoying thing is that you have to flip them over and read the ingredients one by one, all the nutrition facts. It would take hours. I mean, literally hours. So the idea of Open Food Fact is, can we make something easier and simpler for those breakfast cereals? So it's a mobile app. I mean, we have a crowdsourcing model, which means that you can use the iPhone, the Android app to scan products and get information about them. So for instance, this is the nutrition score. So it's a newly introduced score in France. It's computed from all the lines in the nutrition table that you saw earlier. And it's from A to E. So it's a really simple note, a grade, that a 5-year-old children can understand. I mean, if the little parrot on the breakfast cereal packet is rated E, but he might not be as friendly as he seems. So basically, the data is open, and you can add even more data by taking pictures of products if they don't exist in your country or something like that. So we go from a picture, from all the pictures that you take, and we turn them using OCR and volunteers into open data that can be analyzed. So for synonyms, for instance, the E325, E365, to understand what it actually means, even if it's hidden behind a synonym. So this is what Open Food Fact looks like on the web. So you get all the products that we have. So that's only for the Switzerland. So for Switzerland, we have 60,000 products. But worldwide, we have something like a third of a million, so 350,000 products, and more and more every day. And you can search products by brand, by additives, by allergen, by category. If you want to see, for instance, macro à l'escabeche or anything, you can drill down and even combine the criteria. If you want gluten-free macro à l'escabeche, you can have that as well. So this is the Toblerone. So you will typically have the packaging, so all the recycling information, the categories. So you can compare the Toblerone to other Swiss chocolates, and all the quality labels, and even the places where the product was made. So you'll get the allergen, so in German the Sporen, and the additives that are detected from the list. So lecithin is detected there. And of course, you get the nutrition grade that I showed you earlier. So for now, OpenFact started in France, so it's a French project that we're trying to expand. So if you have any friends abroad, if you happen to travel, feel free to scan products abroad. I mean, we started in France, we are expanding in the EU and around the world. We have 181 countries so far. We still lack North Korean products, so if you happen to go there, feel free to scan some products. And I mean, every product counts. We started from zero 5 years ago, so and we're still a long, long way from having all the products in the world. That must be hundreds of millions of products, so it's a long way to go. And so what can we do with all the data that we collect? I mean, many things. So we can decode label, like most people do. So find what those E950 mean, E150D. That's Coke. So E150D is caramel au sulfite d'ammonium, which sounds scary, and actually has been banned in the US, has been deemed cancer-provoking in the US, but is still legal in Europe. You can find products, so find the right product for you using your own criteria. So if you want a gluten-free, I don't know, vegan product, that's hard to find. You can compare and change your food consumption habits. So for instance, those breakfast cereals, you can put them on an axis and find the ones that's less fatty, less sugary, and find the right one for you. And finally, you can explore and discover stuff, I mean, randomly. For instance, find out where the chocolate, the fair trade chocolate comes from, etc., etc., etc. So that can be used for public health and policy, as I told you earlier. So that's the Nutri-Score by Professor Erkberg. So he was able to validate his experiments using OpenFoodFact, because basically he has a little supermarket under the palm of his hand. So this is the photo of the breakfast cereals we saw earlier, but as a chart. So you can compare products. You have to imagine, for instance, those were the cereals I used to eat when I was a child. And you have to imagine that if the package is this high, you have to imagine that the half of the packaging is pure sugar. So it's just this altitude of sugar in the cereals. So you can compare it to other more healthier choices in 3 clicks. I mean, you can generate it for whichever category you want. We can also do stuff for children. So it's a funny little game that allows you to show them how many cubes of sugar are present in their favorite products. And they always make the mistake of saying, okay, there's 5, and then boom, it goes to 20, 25. So it's a very nice way to educate them about the presence of sugar in their favorite drinks. We can also do stuff about food traceability. So for instance, this is a European map we did using data from the European Union. So we used OpenFoodFact data and European Union data to be able to map all the food factories in Europe. So I don't know if I've got a French camembert, and I don't know if you've spotted on the camembert, there are little ovals like this. And it actually shows you the factory in which the product was made. So you can actually spot them on the map. So this is a Swiss yogurt, for instance, and you can actually show that this yogurt was produced in the same factory as, for instance, a Danone product or something like that. So it really allows you to pinpoint where your food comes from. And then on top of that, if you have other interests, you can, of course, download apps made with OpenFoodFact. So this one is that limit for food waste. This one is really cool for iPhone users. It's called Yuka, and it allows you to find better alternatives to your favorite food. So you scan the ham or the tomato sauce you use, and it provides something that's a little bit healthier. So it's a really cool one. And also you get to contribute to Open Food Fact when you use it, because you can send pictures and send data back to Open Food Fact. This one's for diabetics, so it calculates the glycemic index. This one's pretty nice. You can scan your supermarket receipt and get data about the calories. And finally, we're expanding now, like it's been a year, to cosmetics. We've opened Beauty Facts, and we started from the realization that when you take a mascara, so I don't use mascara myself, I stole it from my sister, but if you want to look for the list of ingredients, you actually have to lift the label. Here it goes, and it's tiny, it's completely microscopic. The thing is, you need to have a magnifier to be able to see, and even if you had a magnifier, it would be all Latin and English, and weird codes that are not easy to decipher. So what we're trying to do is do the same as for food, trying to decipher everything, but it's still very early days, so we need your help to get more shampoos, more toothpastes, more everything really in the database. And if any of you happen to be chemists as well, we need chemists because it's really a complicated matter. So how you can help? Basically, get informed, spread the word. This summer, you saw the fipronil scandal on eggs. I mean, the map isn't even up to date. There were more countries that were involved after the map was made. So you can basically, I mean, if you have eggs, you can be part of the solution by just taking a picture of the eggs, scanning them with Open Food Fact and taking a small picture. Present Open Food Fact around you. I mean, it doesn't have to be in a large room, but you can just talk to friends or organize stands to spread awareness about the app, about open data, as well as on food matters. You can help, if you're a foreign country, help translate the apps. So we have a very cool system of translations so that you can bring food information to many countries. So those are the German, Spanish, and Arabic logos. You can also help make Open Food Fact more useful in your country. So those are the Czech beers. So they have a lot of very nice beers. So you can add them to the category system of Open Food Fact, so that we not only have Langue de Bœuf à la sauce Rébiche, but also the Czech pivo and the Czech beers. And finally, and that's probably the easiest way to start contributing, scan products that are in your kitchen or in your bathroom and add them to Open Food Fact if they don't already exist. So together, I guess our slogan is yes, we scan. So one product at a time, we can perhaps start making food and cosmetics a little bit more easier to understand. And now, I mean, either in French or in English, I'm open to questions, answering questions.
Vegetables.
Oh, veggies. Oh, you can't. The thing is, you can't scan them. You can add products without barcodes to Open Food Fact. So, for instance, veggies, Big Macs, stuff like that. But it's harder to look for them when you need them. You need to type Big Mac in order to get the information about it. You can't just scan it with the barcode. You have to type it. Le nom. Oui, c'est ça. Search bar. You look for the product, and you should get it. But
because I tried, I typed grapes, and then it didn't come up.
Nothing came up?
No, it didn't.
Okay, so we need to improve, I guess. Perhaps you have the app in French or in English?
I think both.
Okay.
I tried in French and then it could not work, so I tried in English, so
yes.
nothing came out.
One of the limitations of Open Food Fact is basically that we focus on barcodes because they are easy to use on mobiles. And as a result, we are not as focused as we should on barcode-less products. And the thing is, your carrot, if it comes in winter and in summer, it won't have the same nutrition information. If it comes from Spain, from France, etc., the nutrition info changes. So it's a problem we haven't solved yet, to be honest. We try to solve it on fast food because it works on fast food, like Pizza Hut. Is a pizza from Pizza Hut healthier or less healthy than the microwave pizza you can buy at Monoprix? But we haven't solved the issue on vegetables.
How big is the database now?
The database is 350,000 products.
Wow.
So most of them are from France. We have 170,000 products from France. And the bulk of the rest is the US and European countries like Germany, Italy, Spain, etc. So, I mean, the potential is gigantic. I mean, even in France, I think we can easily double or triple the size of the database. And worldwide, I guess it's 100 million products or something. I have to be honest, I have no clue of exactly how many products are available, even that they create new products every day. So the food industry is very creative. They come up with new products. Some products also disappear. That's a really cool project we have. We make food archaeology. So what was the food from 20 years ago like, and what will the food in 20 years' time be like? So we are creating a huge snapshot of how the food is in 2017, and perhaps like future people from Earth will say, how the hell could they eat like that? Or perhaps, I don't know. For instance, we have a product called Bledina. I mean, most of you are familiar with the brand. And we have Bledina Legume Cervelle, which is basically vegetable and brain from corpse. After the European contaminated beef scandal, ESB, nobody would think about giving brain to little children, but it was a trend at the time, 1987. So the really cool thing is that you can scan products in space, but also in time. You can go back in time quite easily.
Have you tried to partner with a retail? I mean, someone like a Whole Foods or a Walmart or something like that?
So we are a non-profit, so we don't accept any donations from those guys, but they start to give us their data actually. Mm-hmm. So we have very stringent conditions. We want open data. So, and for instance, a major retailer, French retailer called Fleury Michon, basically sent us their whole catalog. And we have another retailer in the pipe, which is going to send us all their data. So it's really cool. They're starting to realize that they need to be transparent about things. It's hard to change the minds of retailers, but they're starting to understand that there's no point like blocking the data, blocking access to data. But we've made it. I mean, we together we've made we've replicated their internal database. To be honest, we discussed with them, and they told us we don't have as much data about our products than you have. You, for instance, you have the allergen, you have the additives. We don't have those. So we are going actually to send you what we have, and we are going to take back what you came up with. So it shows that the minds are slowly changing. Yes, but it's still. I mean, we're only partnering with a couple of us, and there's still a long way to go before every data is public, especially on cosmetics. I mean, cosmetics is a nightmare. We have 5,000 products. So we need help on that. Which country are you from?
From the U.S.
From
Texas.
the U.S. Yeah. So Texas and the U.S. basically, we have imported data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. But the thing is, we have the structural data, but we don't have the photos to back the data.
Yeah.
So if you happen to have some free time, feel free to take pictures. It takes 5 seconds by picture. Take pictures of the stuff you eat, and that way we'll have both the data and the photos to back up the claims. And we'll be even able to enrich the data with things like labels, quality labels, categories, and stuff like that, and to get even richer data than the US Department of Agriculture has. Hey. Are you interested in Ubuntu Mobile?
I certainly am.
Yes, we have a slide about that, I think. Oops. Yes?
Can you make a demonstration, please?
Yes. I think I'm going to do a web demonstration. I have my phone, but it's going to be a bit tough to do a live demo. I don't know. Where is it? I don't think. I'm going to switch to my browser to make you a demo. Or has Anka, do you have? No. Okay. Cool. No camera, so you'll have to. So here's the app. It's basic, but you just click on scan. And the really cool thing is that you can either scan using the barcode, which is the easiest way, but we actually have some image recognition, so you can actually put the camembert in front of the app. I just need to have it on a. Okay. And it will show if I have some connection. You just need to hover over either the barcode or the front, it depends.
If you don't have barcode, and then you got only the number.
Oh, then you have to do it from the website. If you want to enter a vegetable, you have to enter it from the mobile web version. So you need to go to www.openfoodpack.org and then create the product with a name. Because we can't guess, we are going to generate a fake barcode to assign to the product, and so you need to do it from the web version. Otherwise, if the product doesn't exist in the database, you can use the app to scan the barcode, and it's created on the fly. So if the product is not there, you just have to click on take a photo. You take a photo of the front, you take a photo of the barcode and the ingredients, just like this. You validate, and it's automatically sent on the server. So the next person who scans the product will have the photo you've taken and the information you've added. So it's a bit more complicated for vegetables and stuff like that. You have to go online, but for products that don't already exist, you can do it from the app. And so on this one, you have the Nutri-Score. So in a second, you can get it, and you also have additional information about the product characteristics, categories, etc. Even the manufacturing place. So I'm showing you quickly, perhaps the web version, if I can get it.